You want to know something I love? Well, other than a lot of things, zombies. I love zombies and the zombie genre. I've heard people talk about how they are tired of zombies and that they are boring, but I've always loved zombies and I love zombie games, TV shows, and movies. At the moment, I am even rewatching The Walking Dead. The first 5 seasons are so good, honestly. I am really enjoying it. And now, normally, when you ask people what their favorite zombie game is, they would most likely say Resident Evil, or Dead Rising, or like Telltale's The Walking Dead, or State of Decay. However, my favorite zombie game is one I hear very little about from people, and that is Dead Island. I love Dead Island. Ever since I first played the game, I loved it, and it quickly became one of my favorite games ever, and my favorite zombie game. However, many people do not talk about Dead Island, and the game really seemed very underrated in my opinion. So in this video, I'm going to be defending the game and hopefully change some people's mind about the game. Now I will say that just like the video on Halo 5, you can like whatever you want, you can hate whatever you want. If you don't like this game, that's fine. I'm just simply defending a game that I like. Like, that's really all these videos are, it's just me defending what I like. So, let's get started. Now, the most praise that I hear for Dead Island is the story. Having you wake up, like first on you wake up in a hotel and then you have to escape it. It being revealed that you are immune to the zombie outbreak. And you have to get to the man on the radio and do this before Monsoon comes and hits the island. I will not say that the story is the best, but I do like how the main quest is. How it's first you look for supplies and how to get in contact with him. You go to beach resort and then to the city, and then you go to the jungle and you get your blood tested to see if they can make a cure before you go to the prison. There isn't much I can really say about the story, but I think it's really good, and it's great playing through the game, seeing how the story progresses, and even seeing how what the world has become because of the zombie apocalypse. And like, there's not really that much for me to say about the story. It's just really just a normal zombie story, but I like how it, like, simply just that, just a normal zombie story. So let's just go ahead and talk about the setting of Dead Island. Now, honestly, the setting of Dead Island is probably my favorite location for any zombie game, because the entire game is what is on an island. This is probably my favorite location in any zombie game because it's really more believable than how other things show zombie apocalypse, because the island is just in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere. Really, people are on vacation. They are drinking and dancing. No one is armed. Like, really, everyone's just having fun. And then zombies start attacking when no one's around, when no one's armed already. So, and they seem much more of a threat. They can, run and spin and all that. And they really seem more of a threat than The Walking Dead, in my opinion. And I say this because the zombies in The Walking Dead, they move slowly and, they are really slow, and it seems like you can probably get away from them pretty easily unless there's a bunch of them, really. But the zombies in Dead Island, they can also run, spit acid, and may blow up, and even one of them can take you down pretty easily if you're not careful enough. And they can knock you off your feet as well. So you gotta always stay on your toes with these guys. There are 4 locations in Dead Island. You start with the beach resort, then you go to the city, the jungle, and then the prison. Honestly, the beach resort is my favorite location in the game, far closer about the jungle. They are so beautiful to walk through, and you can even actually forget that there are zombies around because just how great the locations look. I do really like the city, but there's so much affected zombies and you hear them everywhere, so you don't know where they're really coming from. I will say the last area, the prison, is really the weakest because it's not much to explore, not really any side quests to do. There's not really any side quests to do, however, I really feel like that makes the other 3 locations much better because you have much more to do and much more to explore. But the setting aren't really anything without the characters and the mood and tone of trying to survive. Now, Dead Island has many characters, including the 4 main characters that you play as, and on the main group of survivors that you're with for the game. Now, I could talk about the characters and the backstories, however, I think it would be better to have them tell their stories themselves.
Oh, man. I used to be on top of the world, brother. All-pro quarterback 4 years running. Voted the sexiest Texan in 2004. Man, I beat out Dennis Quaid and Matthew McConaughey, for Christ's sake. So I drank a few beers now and then, popped occasional pill. That's nothing compared to what the team quacks should shoot me up with just so I could play. And sometimes I just need to numb the pain, you know what I'm saying? My biggest vice was speed. No, not meth, buddy, adrenaline. I blew every penny I had on the fastest cars I could find. Just so you know, I'm a damn good driver. If that asshole I was street racing hadn't sideswiped me, I never would have crashed. That poor girl would still be alive. That's right. That's right, it's his goddamn fault I shattered my leg in 6 goddamn places. So I had a few drinks in me, so what the fuck? I drive drunk better than I do sober anyway. Of course, couldn't play worth shit after that. After I got out of jail, they canned my ass, said I violated the morals clause on my goddamn contract. Ended up playing semi-pro in fucking Canada. But I'm still a name. Oh yeah, I'm still a celebrity. That's why they wanted me to promote their blood drive here. That's why they fucking flew me, first class, halfway around the goddamn world. Because my name still means something. Logan Carter is no goddamn douchebag.
I hate rich assholes. Which is fucking ironic, since I'm expected to put my bloody life on the line for them. That's what they pay me for, this pricey hotel here. To be a bodyguard for the rich and famous fuckwits who come to Benoi to blow their money. I used to be a cop, a bloody good one. A vice detective in Sydney. You know how many female half-Aborigine detectives there were before me? None. You think it was easy? Suffering the abuse of my so-called colleagues. Half of them hated me because I was a girl, and the other half didn't like the fact that my mum was a Koori. So I came up the hard way. I busted my ass. It took me 12 years to make detective, and that still wasn't enough. It's an old boys' club, you know? The whole justice system is a fucking joke. Teenage drug addicts get put away forever, and old white wankers who steal fucking millions get away scot-free. One rich bugger I investigated was clearly molesting his 14-year-old daughter. But he had too much pull with the politicians, so I couldn't touch him. After the girl killed herself, I confronted him, but he just laughed at me. He pulled out a pistol and told me he could blow my bleeding head off and no one would care. Because I was nothing. A nobody. An abo bitch. So I fucking took his gun away and shot the bastard. It was self-defense, but I still got sacked. 12 bloody years down the drain. Worst part is, I didn't even kill the son of a bitch. I just gelded him. One day, I'm gonna have to go back and finish the job.
My father was a very great man, a chief inspector for the Hong Kong police. Even though he died when I was 10, I remember him very well. He was killed by an enforcer for the Wo Xing Wo triad, and I told myself then that I would follow in his footsteps and honor his memory. He taught me martial arts, and I continued to practice after he was gone. After finishing at the top of my university class, I joined the Hong Kong police and was chosen as part of the first all-female anti-organized crime squad. I worked hard. I did my best. But the men in charge never intended to put us on the front lines. They didn't train us the way they promised they would. They didn't believe any of us women were up to the task. We were only for show. Instead, my superiors sent me here, to this resort, to this front desk, to be an informer, to spy on wealthy Westerners. My father would not be proud of me. This work dishonors his memory. But I will do as they ask, for I am a patriot. But I know I am capable of much, much more. I just need the opportunity to prove myself.
I grew up in New Orleans. Lower Ninth Ward. My daddy went to prison when I was 2. That's where he died. Angola. Mama didn't never recover from that. Just drank and did crack. And any random motherfucker who didn't smack her around too bad. My nana the one who raised me. She run the Walsh Interior. We lived in a little shotgun house on Burgundy. From the time I was 10, man, I wanted to rap. I was into old school freestyle rap. And I'd be kicking ass at them battles, bro. But man, just couldn't catch a break. Nothing caught on. So, one Halloween, I come up with, "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" Just as a motherfucking joke, you know? Right to the top of the hip-hop charts, like a motherfucking rocket. And suddenly, I was famous. Going to the Grammys, hitting the parties. Man, I had bitches up to yin yang. And for the first time in my life, I was making money. Shit. I was spending it as quick as I was getting it. I thought I'd made it, you know what I'm saying? That gravy train wasn't never gonna end. So I did another song, and another song, and nothing hit. Nothing fucking hit. Song after song, and ain't nobody give a shit. It's been 10 years, man. And yeah, I can still get gigs, but all they want me to do is, "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" Psh. I used to play the big casinos in Vegas or Atlantic City. Now it's just Reno or Laughlin. Some motherfucking cruise ship. So this gig here might be my last chance. I mean, there's some heavy Hollywood hitters up in there. If I could notice, yeah, I could be right back up on top there. You know what I'm saying?
And we also have Ryder White, who is a man who talks to you throughout the game, but he also revealed to be the main villain at the end of the game. But we also have side characters like one of my favorites, Cinemoy, who is a lifeguard that you work with for most of the game. This character is great in not only his accent, but also how well he helps you, and the fact that Cinemoy stays in touch with you throughout the whole game, really. Now, since Dead Island is an open world with a lot of side quests, there are a lot of characters that are just there for like the quest and all that. Many games do this. Fallout has characters like this, Skyrim does. Many other open world games have this, but what I love is that Dead Island, we see that the zombie apocalypse affects them a lot, like just from interactions and all that. I hear many people say that the game lied to us because the trailer showed this very emotional scene of a family trying to fight against the zombies and a little girl was killed. And we even see these people in the beginning of the game. However, if you actually pay attention to the game and the world, you see that the people are scared and sad. There's a lot of emotions going around. They worry about their families. Some of the side quests are even about finding other people's families, or when we have to get a woman away from her husband who's been bit. And honestly, nothing shows this better than the city, because ever since you enter the city, like after you beat the first act, you see how destroyed it is. There's so much ruin in the city, and you hear the church bell ringing, and you're introduced to the new kind of zombie, the Ram. Especially in the definitive version of Dead Island, it shows how destroyed the city is much better. But it shows how destroyed the city is as you go through it, and you see that not only are people sad and scared, but like they really, like, there's a man in church, he even asked you to kill his wife and daughter who turned because he couldn't do it himself. And another guy asked you to put up posters for his family to find him if they're even alive. Or even a guy who looking for his brother and you have to go find him. Or a man wanted to get his wallet in order to get a photo of his daughter in case he dies. The city is also the first time we fight against human enemies. And we see that the zombie apocalypse makes people go crazy and do whatever they have to in order to survive. City is honestly the best example of what a city being destroyed because of a zombie apocalypse should be and should look like. Like I said, I've been rewatching The Walking Dead recently, and while rewatching it, I personally don't like how Atlanta looked, especially because it didn't look like it was ruined. It just looked like they put a bunch of leaves and trash on the floor and then had a bunch of zombies in it. Didn't really look like a destroyed city. Well, in Dead Island, it really looks like the city destroyed, and the world just is dead. Like, the world is gone because of how the city looked. Many people complain that the marketing lied, but honestly it didn't. Dead Island did exactly what it promised in the trailer that we got. However, it didn't do it like how, let's say, a game like The Last of Us does it, where we have cutscenes and have moments where the game slows down so that way you get to connect with these characters more. Because Dead Island isn't really... Dead Island does this through the world, really, not through, like, cutscenes and all that. And, like, the thing is that the game isn't really about you or the character that you play as. Yes, you are the main character and you are immune, but that's really it. Other than that, the game never focuses on you, never really really up until the jungle, the game never really focuses on you as the character. It really focuses on the world and shows how the world is really affected by a zombie outbreak. You are there to see and experience how the world has not only ended, but also how the citizens and people are, and see their issues and them being scared for their lives, or the entire world is coming apart because of zombies. And the safe zones kind of make this point by really being the only place with music. Really, every time you enter the safe zone, music starts playing, and it's slow and somber, matching the mood that is throughout the whole game. Dead Island shows an emotion and heartbreak not by the characters, but instead by using the world and the game not holding the player's hand really about how people are reacting to the situation. I think it's why many people had a problem, because they either didn't pick this up or they were expecting Dead Island to have these cutscenes and moments where it slowed down so you could really experience it, where Dead Island really showed it through the world and not through anything else. Showed through the world and how it's been ruined that way.
I got a zombie on me and you can't harm me.
Now, this part would be pretty short, honestly, but I hear many people complain about how bad a weapon conditioning system is in this game. However, the system is not really bad. I would argue that it's probably one of the best because it doesn't really go down really fast. You can do more damage with crafting new weapons and repairing and upgrading the weapons, which allow you to use the weapon a lot longer. There are also perks for you to choose as a certain character in the game, which help the condition go down less. The only reason I see why people complain about this is if they use the weapon a lot, which, I mean, of course it will break faster. That's how it is in any game, really. In Dead Rising, the more you use a weapon, the faster it breaks. Same with Fallout and Dark Souls. And really any game with weapon durability is the more you use it, the faster it will break. Now, Dark Souls is a bad example because the way Dark Souls does it, I actually really like, because it really goes down slower than I think anything else. But this doesn't mean that Dead Island is bad because you kept using a weapon for a long time.
On me and you can't harm me.
Watch it.
Now, unlike most people, I honestly feel like Dead Island is a dead franchise. Pun fully intended here. And at this point, I honestly don't want a Dead Island 2 to come out. The game has been delayed and pushed to many different developers, and we don't hear any news about this game. Now, I'll probably make a critique video about Dead Island Riptide, but I didn't like it really, and probably gonna make a video talking about why. But Dead Island is better off as a one-game franchise, in my opinion. The original Dead Island is such a fantastic game. It even ended off as a nice note, simply you made it out and survived the island. They could have ended it off rather than making Dead Island Riptide. But I do not think Dead Island 2 will ever come out, and even if it does, I do not believe it will be as good as the original Dead Island, which has great location, great characters, an awesome world to explore, and you see how the zombie apocalypse is affecting people and throughout the whole game, and simply just the game just has a simple goal of just survive and get off the island. Alright, but that's all for this video, and I love Dead Island, and I love that I made this video defending one of my favorite games ever and my favorite zombie game. So, thank you all for watching.